Look, we already know that buying your first home is a really big deal. But here's the thing that most people don't realize until they're in it. The process itself isn't what's hard. What's hard is not knowing what comes next. I've had buyers not follow my advice and lose a home they love, not because the market beat them, not because they didn't have the money, just because they weren't set up for success before they started looking. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through the whole process start to finish. I'm Jeremy Schafer. I'm a realtor in Lincoln with Nebraska Realty. I work with a lot of first-time home buyers. They all have varying situations and levels of knowledge. Most people come to me not because they have it all figured out, but because they need guidance on what to do. They need a strategy. I put together a free guide of everything we're covering today. It's in the description with a link to book a free call if you want to talk through your specific situation. Before we talk about lenders and listings, I want you to slow down for a second and ask one honest question. Does buying actually make sense for you right now? Being ready to buy isn't just wanting to own a home. It's your finances, your timeline, and your life being in a place where buying actually fits. How stable is your income? How long are you planning to stay in Lincoln? Do you have savings beyond the down payment? Because closing costs, moving expenses, repairs, and building a little breathing room in after you close, that all adds up. And if you're planning on relocating here, I'll say this, make sure you have some real clarity around why buy in Lincoln, Nebraska. Renting for 6 months while you learn the city is not a failure, and maybe it's a smart choice. But if your situation is solid and Lincoln, Nebraska feels right, then the next steps are getting clarity on the numbers and securing financing. I know this part feels like a big commitment. People think, hey, if I call a lender, I'm locked in. Well, you're not even close. Talking to a lender is about getting real information so you can make a better plan. They'll help you understand what price range makes sense, what your monthly payment could look like, and how much you'll actually need to bring to the table at closing time. One thing I hear a lot of from first-time home buyers, I thought I need 20% down. That's really a common assumption, and often it's not true. Depending on your situation, there are loans with lower down payments, FHA, conventional, VA if you qualify. A good lender will really walk you through what actually applies to you. That first conversation doesn't mean you're buying tomorrow. Sometimes it's here are a few things to work on over the next few months, maybe pay down some debt, save a little more, or work on your credit score. You might even find out you're closer than you thought. Either way, that information is invaluable. It turns the whole process from mystery into an actual plan. If it helps, I can connect you with a few local lenders that I really trust. Once you've had that lender conversation and you're ready to move forward, get pre-approved before you start seriously touring homes. Pre-approval means that the lender has actually reviewed your financial picture and can give you a real number to work with. It's different from an online calculator. It's based on your actual situation. Why does this matter? First, it helps you shop with confidence. You're not looking at everything and wondering, can I afford this? We already know your range. Second, and this is one people don't think about until it's too late, a pre-approval matters when you're ready to make an offer. A good home in Lincoln that's priced right will move fast. If you're trying to start the pre-approval process and you've already found the home, you're already too late. That's not the position you want to be in at all. There's no worse feeling than starting to look at homes at a certain price point, falling in love with it, and not being ready to execute. Before you start looking at homes, take a few minutes and separate your list into two buckets. Needs. They're the things that genuinely affect whether the home works for your life. Bedrooms, location, school district, the commute, whatever actually matters to your day-to-day life. Your wants. The wants are the things that would be great but aren't deal breakers. Updated kitchen, a finished basement, large primary bathroom, maybe a big backyard. Your first home may not check every single box, and that's okay. A good first home isn't about always being the most perfect home. It's the one that gives you the right combination of location, payment, condition, and potential. Things like paint, fixtures, landscaping, and cosmetic updates, those can come later, but location, layout, and what you can actually afford, those matter up front. Get clear on your list before you start looking. It makes every decision easier. When you buy a home in Lincoln, you're not just choosing a house. You're choosing your daily routine. Where do you work and where do you like to spend your time? Those things matter more than people realize. Lincoln has a lot of options and they each feel different. There's really no wrong answer. It just depends on your budget and your lifestyle. Sometimes you have to balance location with price and condition. The more move-in ready home might be a little further than you pictured. The home in your favorite area might need some work. That's where it helps to ask, does this location actually serve my life? Can I see myself doing my normal routine from here? That question will take you further than just asking, do I like the house? When you walk through a home, it's easy to get pulled in by the obvious stuff, the kitchen, the flooring, how it's staged, and those things matter. But I always tell buyers, slow down and think about how this home actually lives. Where do you come in every day? Is there a place for all the real life stuff? Shoes, coats, bags? How does the kitchen connect to the living space? Does the layout make sense or does it feel chopped up? You're not just asking, do I like this? You're asking, can I see my actual daily life happening here? Also, how old are the mechanicals? Are there foundation issues? How old is the roof? Has this home been taken care of? You don't have to know everything, but that's what inspections are for. But you want to start looking past the surface. I actually put together a checklist of exactly what to look for when you're walking through a home. It's part of our free first-time buyer guide. It's in the description. Take it with you to showings. It'll help you slow down and actually see what you're looking at. When you find the right home, the offer is more than just a number. Price matters, obviously, but a strong offer can also consider the closing date, the inspection terms, how much earnest money you put down, whether you're asking the seller to cover any closing costs, and how clean and simple the whole package looks together. Sometimes the strongest offer isn't the highest one. It's the one with the least uncertainty for the seller. That said, don't give up on important protections just to win a house. Inspections exist for a reason. Your financing terms exist for a reason. Know what each piece of the offer does before you agree to change anything. Every situation is a little bit different. A home that's been sitting for a while calls for a different approach than the one that just hit the market, already has people looking at it. Strategy matters, and that's why having someone in your corner really helps. Once your offer gets accepted, that's a great moment, and you really need to enjoy it. But it's not the finish line. Get the inspection every time. A home inspector is going to look at the roof, foundation, electrical, plumbing, HVAC, basement, and everything else they can access. I want to be honest with you, no home is perfect. Even the well-maintained homes have inspection issues. That doesn't automatically make it a bad house. What matters is understanding what's normal wear and tear, what's manageable, and what might be of real concern. Sometimes you ask for repairs. Sometimes it just gives you more information. Occasionally it reveals something changes the whole picture. That's exactly why it's there. So you're not making a decision based only on what you saw during the showing. While inspections are happening, your lender is still working hard in the background. The one part of that is the appraisal. Quick thing I want to clarify, because first-time homebuyers mix these up often. The inspection and the appraisal are two completely different things. The inspection is about condition. What is the roof like? How are the mechanicals? Is there anything to be concerned about physically? The appraisal is about value. The lender needs to confirm that the home is actually worth what you're paying for it before they'll approve the loan. So an inspector saying, these are issues we found, is a completely different conversation than the appraiser saying, here's what the value of the home is. Same house, different lens, know the difference before you get there. It'll save you a lot of confusion when both are happening at the same time. The other thing during this stage, keep your finances completely steady. Don't open a new credit card, don't buy a car, don't finance furniture. Even something that seems small can affect your loan approval. When in doubt, ask your lender before you do anything financial. As you get close to that closing date, you'll do a final walkthrough, usually a couple days before, depending on the seller's timeline. Just confirming that the home's in the condition you expected, agreed repairs were handled, and nothing has changed since you last saw it. Once you understand the order of things, put together a plan, it becomes a lot more manageable. Start with the numbers, talk to a lender, get pre-approved, and just know what you need. And then move through it one step at a time. If you're thinking about buying, whether local or planning to move to Lincoln, feel free to reach out. There's a link in the description to book a free call with me. No pressure, just real conversation about where you're at and what makes sense for your next step. And don't forget, the free first-time buyer checklist is in the description too. Covers every step we just talked through, so you got something to reference when you're ready to move. I'm Jeremy Schafer with Nebraska Realty, and I buy and sell real estate in Lincoln, Nebraska. please like and subscribe for more local real estate content.